right, let's see. Let's see if I'm live. Hopefully I'm live. I'm just going to pin here. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stacey, my YouTube channel. This is the #1 place for the more mature entrepreneur who's looking to engage in content marketing on behalf of their business so that they can specifically drive more traffic to their business and do more business. I would never recommend anything to you in terms of content marketing on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We can discuss Pinterest, we can discuss YouTube. No matter what format or media your content is, it has to earn its keep when you're a business person, when you're an entrepreneur, especially when you're a solopreneur and you have to wear all the hats. You're a beginner. Even when you become more of an intermediate business person, you can start hiring things out to independent contractors. Maybe you can pay a kid or a loved one to help you to the point where you get too advanced, where it's just scaling and growing to the moon. But of course, you have to constantly reinvest back into your business in order to scale and grow to the moon. You don't have to be the solopreneur where you're working out kinks in the pipeline of your business, getting proof of concept and all that stuff. But the curse of the advanced entrepreneur is they have to strategically reinvest back into their business. Otherwise, they can burn out trying to do it all, right? So every phase has its curses or its challenges. As they often say, new level, new devil. So if you're here now and any of this sounds like it's interesting to you and you haven't subscribed to me yet because you want content marketing that's going to get you more followers, more email list opt-ins so you can capture your leads, and of course, most importantly, more sales, then make sure you click that big red subscribe button. Click open that bell notification and select all so that you can be notified when I go live and when I publish more content to this channel. Now, every day in the month of January, I'm going live and posting the replays. It's part of our, what do we call this playlist? The 2022 Entrepreneur Business Reboot Advice playlist. I don't tend to have content running around loose on my YouTube channel without putting it into a playlist. So if you want a YouTube channel, it's a great resource, whether you're learning how to market on Instagram Reels, TikTok, Instagram in general. You even want to learn about Instagram SEO. That's one of my more recent playlists. You should definitely subscribe to this channel and check out all my different playlists. There's a whole bunch of resources for you if you need them. Okay, so if you've missed any of the prior days of the live streams and replays that I've done, I just put in the first comment, it should be pinned, catch up here, and that's the link to that particular playlist. So the when we're done here, you can catch up, because every day's training is meant to stand on its own, in large part, but you get best results if you are, following along live stream and replay by live stream and replay. If you are here live, hashtag live, and make sure you give this video a big thumbs up while I pull up my curriculum for today. We're going to talk about how to stay inspired no matter what happens to you as an entrepreneur, because we all get good, bad, and ugly no matter what phase we're at. Beginner, intermediate, advanced, new level, new devil, right? We're all going to have our hurdles that it takes a little bit of work, but we can clear it. And we're all going to have our challenges where if we let the challenges stop us, we're going to stay stopped. Maybe we have to climb over the challenge. Maybe we have to walk the long way around it and it sucks, but we got to do it and we can get around the challenge. Maybe we need to dig our way under the challenge. And sometimes we need to take a stick of dynamite and blow it all up and start all over again. It depends upon your facts and circumstances. But today we are going to talk about how to make your entrepreneurial life more exciting. Sure, you could use some of this for your personal life too if you want to, but I'm a business coach going on 9 years of experience. And so, I'm not per se a life coach normally. I'm a business coach, more specifically a content marketing coach, but this stuff can help you any which way. We're going to shoot it, this teaching today, largely through the lens of an entrepreneur needing to hear this stuff, okay? So make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. It helps me out while I'm live because it pushes out to more of my subscribers. And even on the replay, hashtag replay, I like to see who's checking in when, and this way I can acknowledge you and give you a big old heart and stuff, because I do care who turns in when. And I'm just going to greet a couple of my students, and then we're going to go. Hey, Ann McDonald, what's going on? Nice to see you. Excuse me. Oh, one Poppy Blue. What's up, Ginia? Hi. What's up, Ginia? Good to see you. I know you've been catching up on everything. Really proud of you. Ginia says, I do have some catching up to do, but I've been acknowledging you. Bridget and Darren are here. Bridget Upcycle Lawson and Michelle McLaughlin is here. Oh, that wasn't what I meant to do. Hi, Michelle McLaughlin. Oh, Christine's here. C. Pennell Jones is here on YouTube. Good to see you. Shared a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Yep. All right. So let's get into the training proper, because I do have a one-on group paid student only group that I'm going to get into after this, and that starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most days while I go live on this channel in January, every single day, in January 2022, I'll be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but today, because of the group coaching and stuff I have to get done this afternoon, I'm going to do this at 9 a.m. instead. So thank you for joining me live or on the replay. We're going to get a little bit creative today. We are going to look at the concept of a wish list, right? So and how that's going to help you as an adult. The older you get, the more challenges you've lived through. And even if you've successfully lived through all those challenges, you could be feeling kind of beat up right now. Hey, Melanie Lees, what's going on? I'm going to see you in the other group, you and Bridget for sure, at 10 a.m. So don't think I forgot. I got to watch my time, make sure that at 10 I've got this wrapped up so I don't short the social gram shortcut students. But remember when you were a kid, maybe when you were a kid, you had no problem writing out a Christmas list for Santa, and maybe you even visited Santa at the mall or whatever. You took pictures of Santa and you brought your list to Santa and you dutifully read it off because you really believed that Santa / your family / God or the universe was going to deliver up everything that was on your wish list, right? When we're kids, we're very unabashed and unashamed about what we want out of life. And we believe one way or another, we're going to get it, right? We totally trust that if we're good and we work hard and we are diligent, we're going to get what we want, whether it's Santa Claus, our parents, the universe, whatever. Maybe as we got a little bit older, we believed in the law of attraction, or we doubled down in our faith to God, or whatever you would call God. I call God God. And you still believed, even when you were super young, say teens, 20s, and so on, you really believed that, if you named it, you could claim it, right? So it's kind of not like the childhood innocence of Santa Claus, but you're still thinking, I've got this. I will accomplish it sooner or later. I will not be denied, whatever it is, right? But then what ends up happening? By the time you get into your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, a lot of my paying students, they are 40s and above. They are Gen X to baby boomers, right? That's why I started off by saying I tend to be the business and content marketing coach for the more mature entrepreneur. All are welcome. But by the time you see, I'm talking to people where I understand and I know and you understand, most of you watching this live or on the replay, that there comes a time where you don't believe in Santa Claus anymore, and that's okay. Hope nobody had any kids around. Oops, I should have said, spoiler alert. Kids or grandkids around. I'm sorry if I caused any problems. But honestly, all kidding aside, we get to a point where we don't believe in Santa Claus, but we might still believe in God. We might still believe in things like the law of attraction. And so, we start businesses as entrepreneurs saying, okay, we'll say God, the universe, whatever. I say God, read in whatever's appropriate for you, love all, hate none. But we say we start our businesses off saying that God helps those who help themselves. So I'll pray to God and I will do the best to be the best person I am personally. But now I'm going off with this business professionally, and it's going to help me. My business is going to be my Santa Claus, right? My business is going to provide for me. I'm going to provide for me, of course, through my business. When I was younger, I would give the wish list to Santa or my family or whatever, and I would get what I want or hope that I could get all of what I want. But by the time you get to 40s, 50s, 60s, you're like, geez, this is so much harder. And if you're Gen X, we discussed this a couple days ago, how we're like, because I'm a member of Gen X, we're like called the sandwich generation. We not only have to take care of ourselves, we have to take care of older dependents, and we have to take care of course, younger dependents, mostly children for us. Some of us might have had kids way young, and we might even have grandchildren. So we're sandwiched and we're taking care of so much, and we might be doing a good to great job of even doing that. And if you honestly feel like you're doing a good to great job, even personally helping your loved ones professionally, take a moment, pat yourself on the back, because life is so hard, and times might be challenging depending upon the country that you're living or whatever. This pandemic isn't helping. You know what? It's easy to feel like not enough, overwhelmed, burnt out, and all of those things. If you feel that way personally, how are you going to turn things around for yourself professionally? It's pretty challenging, right? So I kind of want, and I acknowledge, okay, I'm not making light of anyone's challenges, or you get to 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and you're like, the grand old Meg just ain't what she used to be. And now I have to like channel a frigging Clydesdale to make this business work so that I can be successful professionally and feel good for myself. And of course, it'll help me and all of my loved ones and all of my dependents, personally as well. So your business becomes increasingly important. And yet you may be feeling old, tired, overwhelmed, overwrought. I'm like a pat of butter, right? How far can you spread me out? In how many different directions until I feel like I'm ready to disappear? And if that's how you feel, congratulate yourself for the things you should congratulate yourself for. I hope I made that point clear. But then also, sit with your reality and be kind and gentle to yourself. Okay? But now let's look into a topic or a concept that I like to float out, where you're using a wish list to kind of really just add some secret sauce and some of that Santa Claus belief, or that belief that, if you name it, the universe or God or whomever will allow you to claim it. I want you to think about writing up a wish list. When was the last time, as an adult, you allowed yourself to have like a wish list? I know it sounds dopey. Stick with me here. It's understandable. The older you are, the more tired and burnt out and jaded you are. You're like, I'm not a kid going to Santa Claus with my wish list. I can't ask my parents anymore to help me with things on my wish list. I might have to be like, Darren and Bridget are, for sure, taking care of my elders on top of myself. And then they have kids who are self-sufficient, but they have grandkids and they want to love up on them. People like Darren and Bridget, it gets hard, right? And I want to recognize them, and you need to recognize yourself too, right? But even if you don't believe in the law of attraction and you don't want me to talk about it because it sounds too foo-foo, too woo-woo, too like circa 2007, when like The Secret and all that was balling up out of control. Remember The Secret? If you remember The Secret, like 2007, 8, it was on the Oprah show, all the things, right? Like, if you remember The Secret and the law of attraction being super hot, you can put that in the comments down below. I'm curious to see how many people, both live and on the replay, remember The Secret, the law of attraction being this big trendy thing, right? Kabbalah with the bracelet. Come on, y'all know, right? That little red woolen bracelet, right? So, but, even if you think that stuff's foo-foo, woo-woo, and whatever, gotta tell you, don't you think it would be better if you could at least make your heart be lighter, regardless of your challenges, to believe that personally, professionally, both, you could make a wish list, you could name it, and you could claim it. It might not be easy, and you might not be able to pole vault right into the winner's circle in like one or two shots because, we have to embrace reality. But like, how much lighter would your heart be? How much better would you feel if you just allowed even 5% of yourself to kind of get more carrot to guide you forward as an entrepreneur and less stick? Like, we all have the carrot and the stick, and the more responsibilities we have, sure, we're going to acknowledge our financial responsibilities, dependents that we're responsible for in whole or in part, of course. But the more responsibilities you have, the more juicy you need that carrot to be to keep leading you forward so that you will continue to work your business and not give up, so that you can continue to handle whatever needs to be handled in your personal life, so that this way, you just feel better, you are better, you're healthier mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, where applicable. Because, that's an important foundation. And then your business is the house that you're building on top of that foundation. If you don't have any foundation, that house is going to fall. If that foundation is really cracked and it's broken, and we're not dealing with that part of ourselves. Again, I'm not really a life coach per se. I'm a business coach, but I have to acknowledge, if that foundation isn't solid or at least repaired, shored up, and you're not taking care of the foundation, whatever you're building sooner or later is going to fall, or you built so far and you're not going to be able to keep building. So yes, you've got the stick of your responsibilities, your bills, you want to get out of debt, stay out of debt, whatever. I've got them too. You're not alone. And I'm not just pointing fingers here, but you need that carrot to give you that second wind to keep going. And the older you are, the more dependence you have, the more bills you have, the more challenges you have. You need to pull yourself out of marinating in the misery of it. And as we said a couple days ago, some of you liked it. Get down off the cross, sweetheart. We need the wood, right? You need that wood to go build and to continue to build the future that you want, right? So when you hit a wall in the pursuit of your goals, personally or professionally, and your options seem to you to either to give up or you got to keep moving forward, even though you're dragging yourself, it seems to you like you're dragging yourself across broken glass, eating your way through a mile of crap just to see a shaft of sunlight. You're in good company, because a lot of us had to start from zero or start over from zero too. It's not just you, but sometimes you need to hear it, right? But like, while it's important to know analytically what you need to do, if spiritually all you do is feel beat down, you're not going to do the personal work you need to do, and you're certainly not going to do the professional work that you need to do either. Why would you? Because you're just going to get overwhelmed by stick, negativity, hard, right? And it sucks. And we don't want things to suck for you, right? So I'm going to put here, I know a bunch of my students have been following along with the series so far. The first comment that I put down below was the playlist where all the other replays, including this one when it's ready, will go in so you can catch up. And I see comments, I'm definitely going to acknowledge that. For those that don't have it though, because I've had people talking to me behind the scenes and acknowledging all the personal struggles that they have, and they don't feel brave enough, but they know if they don't change something in 2022, now they're going to get to December 31st, 2022, look back over their shoulder to the beginning of the year and say, I didn't get anything done this year either, or I didn't meet, or beat any of the goals that I set. Damn it. Okay. So I don't want that for any of you watching this live or on the replay. You're important to me on the replay too. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, #live, #replay. Okay. Because I want to see who's watching when, but you can take a look at Bravery University. Quite a few of my students have it already, but for those that don't, that is back when I did one-on-one coaching, which I don't do anymore. A lot of what I found people needed to keep themselves from self-sabotaging, to keep from being stuck in anxiety-laden loops, right? I know intellectually I need to break the loop and move forward, but I just can't. I keep pacing and perseverating on the same crap every day. I can't seem to break it. The grooves in the wood are too deep, Stacey. I know you say to take sandpaper and scratch over those grooves and make everything smooth. The words you say are right. I know your heart's in the right place, but I'm a hammerhead and I keep ramming that wall and I just can't break my cycle. Bravery University is something that I created back in 2017 from all my coaching from 2013, 14, more part-time going into full-time. And then 2014, 15, 16 into 17, I'm doing it full-time. So I don't do one-on-one coaching anymore, but this encapsulated a lot of the more foundational coaching that I would give somebody so that they would be able to break their anxiety loop, right? So that they're not engaging in self-sabotage. They know how to catch themselves and what to do. If somebody is being aggressive with them personally or even professionally, whether they're working in a 9-to-5 office environment or they're self-employed and they're dealing with crazy customers, crazy vendors, all sorts of things. This was a comprehensive course that I created for a business person or inspiring business person who just keeps ramming into that wall. So before they go learn about all this content creation stuff, this was foundational stuff that they needed to fix before they built the house of their business success on top of it. Because let's face it, if you are hamstringing yourself, it's going to be one step forward, two steps back. I would rather it be the flip side where there's going to be good, bad, and ugly in your life no matter what. This isn't heaven or nirvana that we're living on or in. This is planet Earth, folks. We all get, whether we deserve it or not, good, bad, and ugly. And we've got to deal, Schlemiel. So how are you going to do that, right? So it's all well and good for me to say when you hit a wall in the pursuit of your goals, and it seems to you like there's only two clear options, and sometimes this is true, sometimes it's not. You either give up or you keep moving forward. You may do the right thing and keep moving forward, but if you're like, you're just tired, you are time worn, you are worn out, you are bleeding out even if it's not your fault, right? From whatever initial challenges you're faced with or whatever contemporary challenges you faced with. How do you expect that you're going to find the moxie to go around the wall, climb over it, dig a tunnel under it, or haul a big old pile of dynamite to it and blow it up if you need to? That would be a last resort, but you know your own facts and circumstances best. Well, you can get Bravery University. That's another link I dropped down below. But here's something you can do in the meantime. Keeping your professional and your personal whys at the forefront can certainly help you. Those are the twin North Stars running separate and parallel that can definitely give you guidance, especially within the year 2022. Okay, I'm all about forecasting and projecting out 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years. For those of you who are good to great about goal setting, I'm not saying don't do that. Because then your North Star can help guide you as you plot and project out from where you are now to all the way over there. And of course, as you evolve and up level, you iterate and you grow, you might be tweaking or pivoting slightly on those longer term goals, but that's cool. So if you don't understand what I mean when it comes to a personal and professional why running separate but yet parallel to guide you, that's day one in this series. So again, the first link that's pinned in the comments below will take you to that playlist. All right. So we'll go back and unpack there instead of doing it here. Then days 2, 3, and I believe 5, we were talking about not just pat on the back goal setting. I know some people are good to great with goals. That's great. Some people hate them and go, oh, well, as soon as you post your goal and you hold yourself publicly accountable, people will cheer you on. And there's studies that show that then it's almost as though you achieve that goal And so then you are really not likely to follow through on it. That may or may not be true. So I could care less about you making a public statement about what your goals are. What I care about is, and days 2, 3, and 5 in the playlist will help you set up financial goals for your business, starting from where you want to be on December 31st, and go backing and unpacking quarter by quarter, month by month, week by week, like that type of goal. You want to do weight loss goals and stuff. Personally, that's cool, but this is a business channel, so most times we shoot things through the lens of the entrepreneur, the more mature entrepreneur, no less. But we also talk about SMAART goals and how we set those goals up so that they're not goals so much by the time we're doing it, but they're plans. Okay, by the time we're done, we have granular plans that are actionable with mile markers to guide us along the way. Having your why at the forefront helps. Setting up and tweaking as necessary your SMART goals is important. Having that goal keeping ceremony that we talked about in the series, like every day spending 5 to 10 minutes max, re-examining your goals and what baby step goals you achieved, what short-term goals you've achieved, and taking time to acknowledge that, patting yourself on the back, maybe a little something celebratory if it's appropriate. Otherwise, you're not going to feel like achieving goals because that's just a big old to-do list. At least catch yourself doing something right as much as, if not more, than when you catch yourself doing something wrong. Okay? Okay. So really quickly, let me just see. Okay, I'll be commenting on the comments in just a second. But let's get to a wish list, okay? Because I alluded to that before. I'm sure you and your dream team, and that's the concept that I introduced you guys to a couple days back. So for anyone who has to catch up, you're going to like that, because even if you're on public assistance, myself and some of the people in the comments had great conversations about how much you can get for free if you're on public assistance, if you're as an entrepreneur, okay, female or not. And then how much help you can get for free no matter what circumstances you're in, right? And then, sliding scale, what you can get cheap to help you personally, professionally, both. And how, who else makes up your dream team? Because it really does take a village, not just to raise a child. It takes a village to keep a busy entrepreneur who has a busy personal life and a busy professional life rolling along, right? You cannot do everything by yourself. And no matter how hard your circumstances are, you really don't have to, okay? So we went and unpacked the concept of a dream team, and we crowdsourced a lot of good information. So you're going to want to see that in the playlist that I pinned down below. It's the first comment. So let's get into the wish list proper. Then I'll wrap things up and talk to you guys. I do have time as long as this flows nicely. So your wish list as an adult and as an adult entrepreneur, of course, can come in many forms. You can write it down on paper. You can type it up electronically. You can do it like it's a letter to the universe if you're a law of attraction kind of devotee. You could write a letter to God if you're a more spiritual person. You could do a vision board if that works for you. But if you feel like, I'm not that creative, it sounds like too much, that stuff doesn't work for me. Vision boards are great if they work. If they don't work, then don't. If it works for you, work it. I don't care if you write it down. I don't care if you type it up. What I want you to do is to be less fixated on the format and more importantly, do it. I want you to brainstorm like you lance the boil and it's all flowing out of you, but instead of negative stuff or poison, I want all of your dreams from like just basic, it would be nice if these things could happen, all the way up to, man, if a genie could just grant me endless wishes, what would I ask for? Where I'm sitting right now, what would I ask for? And no one needs to see your wish list but you. So don't feel embarrassed about whatever you put there. I don't want to filter on it when you're in brainstorm and implementation mode, right? I just want you to create a wish list. I don't care if you're a big brawny guy like Mike Reinhardt, our favorite blacksmith in this community, or if you're itty bitty little me over here, 50 something year old, and I'm going to create a wish list. And, all the things that you wish could be manifested or show up in your life or you could afford mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually, if that's important to you. So don't just think things, although thing goals are really fun, right? Don't just think I want to live in a mansion or I want bigger, harder, faster, more in my life, however that shows up. Although think those things. Totally vent this stuff out onto your wish list. Act like you're a kid at Christmas time. You don't know any better, and you're just writing a list for Santa Claus, believing that between Santa and your parents and God, if you believe in that, all or most everything's going to show up in your life, right? Because why not? And we know that our businesses, when they are running, when all the pistons in the engine block of our business model that we're running is working, even as a beginner, we're starting to get traction in terms of getting what we want. Intermediate, we're running like 3 sales a month. And it's not if we're going to make money, it's how much. And I'm going to start reinvesting into my business so I can be bigger, harder, faster, more in my business. And then I can go to advanced, where my advanced students are selling to their email list every single week. If they skip once in a blue because of vacation or whatever, cool. How do you think I get students to 6 figures and higher? Because they do 1 sale a month? Nah. Most business models, you couldn't tolerate enough income if you were paranoid schizophrenic about asking for money, because what if you get unsubscribes or people complain? You are always going to get unsubscribes. And no matter how much of a giver, god or goddess you are, if some people are tinfoil hat time, and they're always going to complain. They're going to pretend they didn't understand that they were on the email list of a business or a business owner. They're going to pretend that they're on Aunt Benwina's email list, and how dare Aunt Benwina ask them to book a party with her direct sales company or buy her jewelry or whatever. Heavens to Murgatroyd, you're selling to me? You're making offers to me that would help me get out of pain and into pleasure for the very reason I enrolled on your list in the first place? How dare you make offers to me? Ugh, get out of here, right? You want your wish list and you don't give a damn about those people. And you don't give a damn about the naysayers in your life personally, or if you're bootstrapping with a day job professionally. To hell with them. I want you to sit there and to take that wish list, and I want you to dream. Nothing is juicier than thinking about what you can get out of your life. Yes, getting your act together personally, but professionally, we're entrepreneurs. It's our moral obligation to make offers to the public using our gifts to help them get out of pain and into pleasure. Selling every daggone day should be what you want to do, because, man, you can't wait, ripple effect wise, to reach more people and to help more people and to make the world a better place, one happy customer and one offering paired up at a time, right? You're helping them to achieve their wishes on their wish list, and they're helping you too. It's a two-way street, right? It's like the buddy system. We're all going to make life better, not just for ourselves, but for everyone else too. When you start feeling like that, now you've got a business movement, and now you're starting to believe that you actually can achieve, not just for your benefit and your loved ones' benefit, but for other people too. So I want you to just crazy, ugly, vent out every last selfish thing you ever wanted out of life, whether your business gives it to you or just drops out of the sky. I don't care. You're a kid again. I want you, instead of venting out poison today, I want you to vent out positivity. What do I want? And don't even think about why in the beginning. When you're done and you're like, okay, at least for today, I've scraped the bottom of the barrel with my wish list, then you can sit there, give yourself a little bit of a break. When you circle back to it, and I would circle back to it later on in the day, I would sit there and start to categorize the wishes. And maybe you put them into like the different pots: mental, physical, emotional, financial, and spiritual. Spiritual, religious, ethics, whatever, applies. So maybe it's 5 categories, or if you want to kick out the last one, you do you. Right? But I want you to have a fun time doing this. This is all carrot today. It's not stick. I want things to get super juicy and it's going to be, peeing your own Cheerios. Right now, you're just in fun mode for the first draft, organizing and tethering things together in the second draft for, right, what you want personally and or professionally out of life, right? And then once you're done, it's too cold, it still feels real to you. It feels more real to your subconscious than just wishing everything would be better, than just wishing I could make more money with my business because stick, 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 the stick, we get it, right? You don't need to really spend too much time focusing about the stick. Separating about the stick that you are beating yourself up with in life, right? So today I want you to be selfish. I want you to embrace the creator and the child in you. Get like a second wind, okay? And I want you to make up this wish list for yourself. Let it whet your appetite and keep you psyched mentally, emotionally, financially. When I say mentally, I mean like analytical up in here. Emotionally is your heart, and then spiritually where applicable, right? So I want you to allow this wish list to whet your appetite, give you that second wind, and then, you're going to feel more lit up inside to be able to keep moving forward with respect to your SMAART goals, their actual plans. You're more likely going to keep that goal keeping ceremony 5-10 minutes a day where you sit there and you are like, what have I knocked off my list? What am I getting so close to on my short-term goals, 90 days or less? What do I have to recalibrate in my plan so that I can work and achieve my goals? Because, man, I'm going to get something off that wish list mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. I want to do it every day if I can, every week if I can, every month if I can, right? And if you have to recalibrate your wish list, your goals, or whatever, that's cool, but I don't want you to stop believing in yourself. Okay, so that's kind of the training proper for today. Let me go and deal with the comments now, right? Let me acknowledge everybody. Amy Prophet, what are you doing, my friend? Hello, Miss Amy Prophet. Bridget says, oh, thank you, because I acknowledged what she and Darren have to do. And I'm not saying they're not wanting to do it. It's just their plate's full. And Ginia and Laura from Music Chick Art says, I remember The Secret. I know it's hard to get away from that, right? So whether you wanted to or not, you had it. Bridget says, I could not get through The Secret at all. I tried the audio and written book. I'm currently reading The Artist's Way, which is similar. Something else that back when I was doing the one-on-one coaching and somebody didn't want like a religious version of what we were talking about, and if The Secret didn't speak to them either, but they wanted to go more artistic and more beatnik, the book Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain, just creative visualization. If you look that up, you can get it from the library. You can get the digital version. Library's free, digital version's cheap. If you really fall in love with it, then invest in the book. Creative visualization is kind of like, it was around, that book was long before 2007 and like the advent of The Secret and all of that stuff. So that might be something. Oh, Laura. I bought Braver University twice by accident. Good Lord. Bridget, I know, has it, and she says, I have to go back and listen to Braver University again. Laura from Music Chick Art says, good idea, Bridget. I need to do that too. Mike Reinhardt, we said we were mentioning you before from previous days and involvement in the trainings. Wish list is a go, says Amy Prophet. Absolutely. And then the Speck of Loon by Susie B is here. How many of you have, in the time that we have left, because again, I got to bolt because I have a group at 10. How many of you in the last year have sat there and done anything that is like a wish list, like what I discussed, have allowed yourself to do it at all, let alone the strategic way that I kind of laid it out. Like, the first version of it and then the second version of it. Oh, yeah. Shakti Gawain had some really good stuff. She did. She was back in, like, what, the 60s, 70s? That's okay, Bridget. She's like, Gawain. I know it's like Gawande. Nah. But if people look up creative visualization and they see a name that kind of looks like what I said, you're in the right place. That predated The Secret by quite a bit. So Ginny is being honest and saying, I have not made a wish list. So let me ask, and it's not like Ginny has to answer, but for anybody who's going to tell me that you made a wish list, tell me, how long ago was it since you made one, and how did it make you feel when you did it? Okay? For those of you who haven't done a wish list, yeah, I'm less worried about, like, why didn't you do it? Who cares why you didn't do it? Are you motivated to do that now? Does it not make sense to you that we need to motivate ourselves with both the carrot and the stick? And if you're just beating yourself with the stick, and or other people are beating you with the stick, like maybe your husband, wife, significant other says, hey, when is this business going to make any money? Right? And they're just being a big old killjoy. Hey, Shipley, what's up? Good to see you. And if you feel and breathe, you could put this stuff here. But like, does it sound like to you that when I'm talking about a wish list, does it sound kind of foo-foo to you? I'm not necessarily hooking it in to the law of attraction or to religiosity or spirituality necessarily. Although if you're religious and you believe in God, God isn't going to always be on miracle call. God can listen to you. You don't like God and you're like the universe. What you're sending out is just going to keep coming back to you, whether you put it under the law of attraction, the secret, or not. Creative visualization is like a different artistic way to come at what I think a lot of people might look at as the law of attraction or the secret. So whether you are into foo-foo or woo-woo or not, or you're into religion or spirituality or not, I'm telling you, even if you're completely atheist, agnostic, or whatever, it does not help you to just focus on gotta. Because the older you get, the more you're going to have to gotta. And if your business isn't doing what you want it to do and it's not growing and evolving in terms of what it's bringing in financially, let alone growing and evolving a very involved brand-based community, because that's where you get your email list is where you're going to get roughly 3/4 of your sales if all things working right. Out on social, sure, you can get roughly another 25%. But what normally happens is if somebody doesn't feel comfortable enough to raise their hand and get on your email list, they're way much less likely to jump all the way down to the bottom of the marketing and sales funnel and give you their money. I'm not saying folks won't. I'm not saying you can't get sales that way. But if you're not getting the sales that you want, a lot of what's already on my channel in terms of the pre-edited videos will help you create a brand-based community by attracting people to your platform, wherever you are out on social. But if you're not driving traffic to your email list and otherwise to your website, how are you going to do business? You know what I mean? If you are too afraid to ask for sales, and no matter how much stick you have going on, and no matter how many responsibilities and 10,000 pounds of pressure you have going on, if the stick doesn't work for you, why don't you try some carrot along with the stick? The more older and the more responsible you are, the less likely it is you're going to ignore the stick or be like pretending the stick ain't there. You need the carrot to give you that second win, so you don't feel so dried up, old, tired, overwhelmed, right? So just from a common sense perspective, you need to get something to keep you looking forward besides just your goals that turn into plans, or goals are very fairy and they're not useful, right? So really, really quickly, I'm experimenting with when I'm putting my pre-edited videos back up on my channel. They're at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. So today's pre-edited video, I'll just drop a link to that here. And so Amy says, I can understand how a wish list can stoke your momentum. Julian says, I guess I subdued my wishes of greater things in the past, but what you say makes me realize there's no reason not to have and acknowledge wishes. You should. Your heart's going to feel lighter. Mentally, you're going to feel like, you know what, I'm not just storing this up or denying it. Because there's a lot of energy that we take tamping down and denying our wishes and denying ourselves. And you've got plenty of resources out there to tell you that's not healthy either, right? So you're at least allowed to acknowledge your wishes. And then every time that you're engaging in self-defeating activity, every time that you are staying in preset patterns that don't propel your business forward, your personal life forward, or both, then you are more inclined to catch yourself and say, hey, then I can't take care of the carrot and I'm never going to get to that stick, right? And it's okay to have like crazy wishes. Like I said, that first draft, just whatever, whenever, however, and just catch it all, right? Grab that tiger by the tail before it runs off and you forget about it. Because the older we are, the more we have senior moments. But on top of it, then the second draft that you should do a little bit later on, give yourself a break, go do something, sit down again in about an hour or so, look at that wish list with a fresh pair of eyes, and then start parsing out what like different pots or batches or buckets these things are. They should be categorized in mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. And this isn't busy work. The second time around, you are dealing with this again. So it's repetition, which your conscious and subconscious mind likes. And then you are starting to deal with these what were previously airy-fairy wishes that maybe you were suppressing or not bothering to acknowledge. Now it's out and you're like, oh, I feel better. But it's like your subconscious mind goes, oh, and now we're sorting these things. We're putting these into buckets. Maybe I'm a little less likely to sabotage because it's starting to feel like this stuff could be real. The more you work on your dreams, revisit them, have plans with mile markers, not just goals, airy-fairy goals, but plans with mile markers. As you see yourself knocking off a bunch of baby step goals, like things you could definitely do today, and then short-term goals, as those start to pile up under the done category, not the to-do category. And again, go back to days 2, 3, and 5 in this series, because we talk about long-term goals versus short-term goals. Short-term goals are like 90 days or less. So you can have a bunch of short-term goals just sticking in 2022, right? So let me see. Okay. So Bridget says our first laser was on our wish list. 2 years later, we have 3 lasers. Oh, that is really, and I knew that, but I'm glad that you're sharing that. So people logging on the replay, Bridget, can hear that. You and Darren, you had a business that was much smaller and you've grown it, especially over the last couple of years, because you're like an implementation beast. Nearly everything I teach you, you and or Darren pull off. 2 years later, you've got 3 lasers, right? So you can create more, you can scale, you can grow. You guys have 2 businesses. One is brick and mortar with an electronic presence. The other one is solely electronic. So Bridget says, my big list is a laser that will cleanly cut my aluminum cans and tins. I need to sell $12,000 of my upcycled jewelry to do it. But you see, that is, again, implementation beast on almost everything that I teach, right? And she's even doing it with the email, which she was not wanting to do before. And now Bridget would tell you, why was I having such a problem? Now that I sent it, I'm like, oh, I'm on the other side of it. I feel better. And she had great rates, open rates, click-throughs, whatever. And now she's got the next 2 emails scheduled out too. Come on. And for those of my students who use the popularity plan, Heart will open on popularity plan on Monday and close on Friday next week. So this way you have stuff for February. For those that don't know what the popularity plan is, those are packs of 15 graphics that are kind of neutral, but kind of signal, that month too, so that you don't have to necessarily edit them if you don't want to. They could be good to go no matter what your branding is, right? But they're kind of neutral. But yet there's 15 graphics with 15 corresponding social media post captions that are pre-written, blanks for you to fill in, but they're templated. So you fill in the blanks, you tweak the language if you feel you need to. And now half of your daily posts for the month are done for you. And in that same package, 4 emails, one assigned to every week of the given month. And all that for $37. And that's something that my students asked me for over a year ago now. And so we've been coming out with monthly packs ever since. All right, you guys. So if I'm leaving you in a good place, I'm going to take another quick sip. I know there's a quick delay. If you're new here, make sure that you hit that big red subscribe button. You click the bell notification, select all every single day in the month of January 2022. I will be going live and there will be replays. The first comment, the playlist has been linked for where all these replays are going, including this one. Oh, thank you, Amy. She does wonderful programs. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And McDonald says, need my glasses for that. My wish list keeps me, especially on those challenging days. Yeah, because all of our personal to-dos can drag us down, even if we have no dependents to take care of, older or younger. We're not Gen X. We're not in the sandwich generation, right? So that's why I'm saying, you guys know your duties and responsibilities personally. And then, like, especially if you've been an entrepreneur for a while, and a lot of my students have been, you'll know those professionally. And to acknowledge those and to give ourselves credit for all that we've done, all that we're continuing to do to keep the big wheel of our lives and our businesses rolling. I'm not saying don't do those things. What I find too many people doing, though, is they catch themselves at everything they've done wrong. They don't give themselves an opportunity to catch themselves doing something right, which is why several days ago we talked about in this series just a 5-10 minute goal keeping ceremony where you just sit there and acknowledge even just the baby steps that you took toward your goal, or the quick baby step goals that you knocked out over the last 24 hours. Did you achieve one or more of your short-term goals? Or you just about, you're on the precipice of achieving another goal for your business, right? You could use this for personal too, but for your business, because too often we will let all the dependents and all the different personal life things drag us away from being implementation beasts persistently and consistently on behalf of our business. And although most of what I do throughout the year on this channel focuses on content marketing and planning it and publishing it and optimizing it and how to do it in a way where, especially if you're a more mature entrepreneur, you're not doing things you don't want to do, like dancing and singing on TikTok or Instagram Reels, but you're still using TikTok and Instagram Reels in a very strategic way. My channel is all about that. So if you've not subscribed yet, please do. Is there a link for the popularity? Okay, yeah, Denise, we're not launching that until next week for the February pack. So definitely in any of the student groups, via email, and here Monday through Friday next week, every day that'll be like the main link that I'll be dropping. Because I have to model what I teach you guys too, which is I'm a more advanced business. So I should be making offers every week. And if occasionally I take a week off for vacation or whatever, that's fine. But like any of my longtime students will tell you, even the ones I've had over the last 2 to 3 years, you do not get to 6 figures and above acting like a hobbyist. You can't, you won't, right? So we need you guys treating your businesses like a business, including the content marketing, which you're usually talking about here all the time. If you don't treat your business like a business, it's going to pay you like a hobby if it even pays you at all. All right. So, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Denise. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Good deal. I'm jumping into my one-on group coaching program for Friday for paid students. So I will be in Social Gram Shortcut in a minute. Talk to you guys later. Bye.